Hi, I'm Kyle with Stern Pinball, and in this video we are going to go over installing a topper on your pinball game.
Let's do this!
After unboxing and unpackaging your topper, do make sure to read the instructions just in case there are any topper-specific instructions needed for installation. Other than the topper, we will just need a number 2 Phillips screwdriver and the game to be powered off. The first step is to open up the back box. So we'll need our key located inside the coin door. Unlock and fold the LCD panel down, and then remove the trans light and stow it somewhere safe. The next step is to remove the plug in the head. So find the plug here in the back in the center, depress the 2 prongs, and push it out the top until you get the plug out. The next step is to unscrew the 4 screws that we will use to affix the topper to the top of your pinball game. The 4 screws are the 4 outmost corners on the top of the head. Using your number 2 Phillips screwdriver, remove all 4 screws and set them aside. The next step is to take the topper and put it in place. The first thing we'll need to do is to thread the cables through the hole in the top of the head, and then we can maneuver the topper into place. Make sure that the cables are all the way inside the head, and then gently rest the topper in place. Using the screws you set aside in your number 2 Phillips screwdriver, we can attach the topper to the pinball game. Now that the topper is secured to the pinball game, we'll take the cables and install them in their positions. First, we'll start with the data cable. Looks like an internet plug. This will be routed to the bottom node bus port here at the bottom of the CPU node. Once the cable is plugged in, take the cable and route it using the P-straps in the back of the head. Now we'll take the power connector and connect it to CN7 on our power distribution board in the bottom right of the head. Once you hear it click in, we'll take this wire and route it through the P-straps like you did for the data cable. Before we close the game back up and enjoy our new topper, we'll want to check a few connections to make sure things haven't been bumped out of place. Things that we've had to help customers with in the past would be simple, such as accidentally bumping the SD card and having it click out of its socket during the topper installation process. Make sure that it is firmly secured and seated in its slot. Another thing to check is make sure that the data cable from the topper is plugged into the data port on the bottom of the CPU node, not the Ethernet port at the top. Along those lines, make sure that the other 2 data cables haven't come loose during the installation of the topper cable. And lastly, make sure that the service switch connector hasn't jiggled loose. Now that everything's connected and the connections are all verified and secure, we'll want to repackage the game. We can start by taking our trans light and sliding it back into place. Fold up our LCD panel, lock it up, and now we can power on the game. All right, looks good. When you first power your game up, you might see a message on the LCD talking about updating node board something or other. That's normal. That's the game communicating with the board that is inside the topper that runs all of the features of the topper. Another thing is, if you turn the game on and the topper doesn't work, check the version of the software your game is running. Older versions of the software might not have the code to support the topper. So in that case, you would want to make sure you update the game, either going to sternpinball.com and downloading the newest version of the code, or going through Insider Connected, have the game update itself if your game's connected to the internet. Thanks for watching this video from Stern Tech School. Now me and the Foobot, we've got to go chase down the Overlord.
Foobot assembled!